Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and here we're doing a quick little sew along to end Why Seam Wednesday, and it's called Job's Trouble. But first, I'm so excited about this one because this one has been on my my to-do list for a while. You're going to find a PDF pattern for it and instructions on how to make a queen size quilt with the template that I gave you, which is this, and with squares. So, but first, before we get started, let's do our shout out because I'm going to forget the shout out. Sheena Roberts at Man Quilts spoke to our guild, the Edmonton District Quilt Guild, in September, and I laughed so hard. She is so talented and so funny, and it was a wonderful presentation she gave, and I decided, okay, Man Quilts, you guys have got to go and check her out. Now, she also has a website, so I'm hoping to remember to put her website down in there. If I don't, you guys can just go look up her website. But she has all sorts of patterns, and she does teaching, and she speaks for free. And she is a very modern quilter, but she just has such a wonderful perspective on doing quilting, right? You guys got to go see this. Anyways, that's our shout out for today. Now, the other thing you're going to find in the show notes, besides the PDF for Job's Trouble and for her YouTube channel, Man Quilts, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups over Zoom. I have a PowerPoint presentation, and I do it for free. That's right, I do it for free. I talk about making charity quilts, making quilts from your fabric scraps and elements of design. And if that's what your guild is kind of looking for, then please put my name for it. I'd be happy to accommodate them in my schedule. It is a way of me giving back to the wonderful quilting community that we have. I am so inspired by meeting all those other quilters too. It's so much fun. Also, the Chaos Sew Along is going to start soon, so get your scraps ready. The subunits are going to be 4.5 inches square or 4.5 by 8.5 inches. So you're going to need bigger pieces, and it is a really good scrap buster. So get that ready. Once we decide, we start filming the date and when it's going to drop, the date is going to be in the show notes, right? But because we're filming ahead, it's hard for me to pick a date. Also, we have a Facebook group. It's warm, it's wonderful, and we do all the same things Facebook groups do, except we do fabric swaps by country. We do a whole community chat on just where to find free patterns. We do another one on recipes. We do all sorts of things. The admin people are adding all sorts of other fun groups as well. And we're also doing the virtual sewing room in the Discord app. So if you're part of the Facebook community, please message one of the admins and they'll be happy to send you an invite for the Discord sewing room. And that virtual sewing room is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you never know who you're going to meet in there or what country they're from, because it's all about having fun. You can meet your next door neighbor. Who knows? We don't know. But it's a fun group to join, and we're very positive and very uplifting. So yeah, it's really good. Also, the Zoom sew dates are going to be in our show notes below. Now, when we're filming this in September, it's from now until December as to when the sew dates are available. But when this airs, it might be quite a bit later. And yes, I will put in the 2025 dates. I haven't looked at a 2025 date calendar yet, but we will get there, and we will continue this for 2025. I have so much fun in those sew dates. I get to talk to all sorts of people, and we share what we're working on and what's inspiring us, and we just have a good time. But if you're coming and you don't want to sew that day, you want to bring your crocheting, bring it. It's all good. Great place to hang out. Share, like, and subscribe with your friends. That's really important. Commenting is very important. Please comment. If you haven't got time, I know life is busy. If you haven't got time to comment, put a heart down. At least we know you're watching. Okay, so I think that's it. Come on in. Let's get to the sewing of Job's Trouble. Okay, so we're at the sewing machine here, and all of my low volumes are the same print because I had a really pretty blue and white low volume not in my scraps, but in my fabric, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get this out because I think this would be just perfect. It's a little wild, a little modern, and it looks great. Now, one of the things you have to remember about octagons, half of the sides are straight grain, the other half are bias. And this because all the sides are equal, right? This is the same measurement as this, right? Like on this template that I drew, and I drew it from this. So these sides are the same as this side, right? Like, so it's kind of like, okay, I have a choice. I can stabilize half of the bias edges right off the hop by just taking the bias edge and sewing on a 3.5 inch square. Right, now that's going to help me out a lot. Now I'm just going to lay this baby down and sew it through. Now, as I'm sewing through, I have to explain that this is going to come, Job's Trouble is going to come out in a few different sections. So the first thing we're doing is putting together the block, and that's the block right there. That's the block. I know you're sitting there, wait a minute, I thought it would be far more complicated. No, it's not. It's not complicated at all. I decided I was going to pull up my cave. My cave facet and tulip pink and Australian Aboriginal prints. They sit in my stash and they do nothing. So I decided, okay, we're going to use them. We're going to use them and get some really wild quilt going and have all sorts of colors. Now, so I know some of you are going, wait a minute, this is all blue fabric. Shouldn't this be Blue Monday? Blue Monday did not achieve or will not achieve what we're hoping. It is just, there's just too many fabrics left that I have to now deal with. And I'm like, okay, so we just got to go in there and get some more fabric. Like the blue bin, my blue bin for yardage and fat quarters is overflowing. I can't even put any of that back in there. So I'm like, okay, so we have to rethink this. And that's okay if we have to rethink this. So I'm just, like I say, I'm stabilizing an edge. That's all I'm doing right now. Now, what you're going to do is once you finish this block, you're going to sew 9 of them together. But that's for the next one. All we're going to do right now is stabilize that one side. And whatever you don't see me pulling on them, right? Oh, that one's got to go down a little bit more. There we go. Okay, you don't see me pulling on this stuff, right? Now, what I did is I laid a bunch of fabrics, you know, as with the corners, you know, like all, and then I traced out the template around where it was supposed to go, and then I pulled the template away and then I cut with my rotary cutter. And I found that I had some really, you know, got some really beautiful cuts that way. And it didn't take me that long to do. And I got out of a fat quarter, because that's what's in the scrap bin, because they don't fit in the yardage anymore. I was getting 4 of these. And I was, they were really nice to get 4 of those. I was getting four of octagons, and it was just one of those like, oh yeah, I could do this. There we go. Lay that out. And basically you get pretty good at averaging where you can kind of flip it around like that too and see whether your triangles are the same size. Or you can, you know, fold it and just give it a little, fold both of them and give each one of them a little mark, finger press mark in the center. That's also another way of doing this if you want. I was quite surprised how fast I cut through these the other day. I was like, wow, that didn't take long. But yeah, you just stack them up and cut a bunch at once. And like I said, I got 4 out of a fat quarter. So there are some repeats in color, but at least I chewed up a big part of a fat quarter. So that's impressive. Let's see, this one. It was the... Yeah, but anyways. Now I'm not going to show you how to do all of these. So I'm just going to, like I say, chat with you a bit. Now there's different ways of approaching this. Some people like to do the straight grain one first. And that if that's the way you want to do that, you can, but make sure you're doing it all the same, because that's important, right? Because otherwise this is going to be almost impossible for you to iron. Because you only have to be able to iron it from the back, otherwise you're going to cause stretching. So, there. This is a really old block that they did for tiling. This is why this is so familiar looking, and they do fit together. I'll show you how they fit together in a bit. Yeah, but I pulled out my tool tanks as well. I figured that can go. And my Australian Aboriginal prints. Isn't that lovely? That's an amazing print. And I pulled out some fun Robert Kaufmans. I figured, okay, we can do fun Robert Kaufmans. There we go. That can come out to play. This is the little apron print he put out a while ago. I have no idea where I got this print, but oh my goodness. Is it ever cute? And all of the crumbs, the cut-offs that I have from this, I've already added into my crumb bin, and I've sewn them together. So, you know, like nothing is getting wasted. You know, nothing is gotten thrown out into the dog bed, except, you know, the part that you take to square up stuff. And I did end up with smaller scraps going back into the bin, but that's better. That's okay. I don't mind that. It's when there's just everything. Okay. Oh, we got enough here. So, yeah. So I guess I've got enough here to show you what, I'll do a couple more. I'll just do a couple more. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. So there's going to be one video on this, and then the rows, making your rows, and then another video on putting your rows together, because that's kind of important that you know how to do that. And here, I'll show you how they go together. Now I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press them open, but there, I'll just move that out of the way. That's how they're going to go together. Now, because I'm doing bias edge against biased edge, this is a straight grain on both sides. So it doesn't matter if this one, like they usually say bias on the bottom, it don't matter now, because this over half of this now will be straight grain against straight grain. So that's really helpful for, you know, this purpose, right? As you make up your mind, as you're making up your mind how you're going to sew this. And like I say, no pulling, no nothing. Okay, getting back to how we're going to assemble this. So first we're going to do all the blocks, and I'm not going to do them all here in a video, because you don't need to watch this 81 times before you get the idea. You just line them up. I should show you one where, okay, so this is the way other people line up. They fold it over and they get a perfect match, and then they just finger press just a little bit right there, so they make a little divot. Right? So then they take this and they fold it over like this, and they just put a finger press in here, and then they match up their divots. Well, you can do that if you'd like. That's another way of matching this up. You know, you can pin all of this stuff if you want. If you're a pinner and you feel more comfortable pinning, you can pin. That's not a problem. We never say you can't pin. We never say that. And, okay. Okay. Yeah, so as I go through this, you'll, it's just a kind of a cool thing that'll happen here all of a sudden. You end up with a bunch of this. Now, I am not going to be able to finish all of these today. I'm going to tell you that. And I did probably cut a couple extra. And I haven't decided whether I've cut 81. I haven't decided whether I'm going to go 90 or not. We'll see. We will see. But I pulled out all the fun stuff the fun and crazy bright stuff out, hoping that it'll all go together. And I think it will. It will. It's bold and bright, and I've got a good low volume. So it should be interesting to see. But you could just do this with scraps. Now, I did not make a dent after cutting 81 of these. So I'm like, oh dear. So I might have to make another one. Which, I mean, okay, that's okay. We can do that too. I mean, we're using our scraps, and, you know, if fat quarters end up in the scrap bin, it's because we're not sewing fast enough. Or we get too many friends that are giving us too much stuff. But that's okay. Either way is okay. So, let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to put this one down in further here. There we go. Okay. And make sure I don't make any more mistakes. So what I'm going to, that's the first step. Make your block, and then we'll get to, we'll get to the next one. And I just lost. My thread just broke. So here's a good place to stop the video, and I will get to finish the rest of this. So we're gonna, and I'll show you what I have to do, so by the time next week rolls around, I'll have all of this done. I can show you how to put them all into rows. Okay, so here we are. This is the block for Job's Trouble. Now I am sewing this on the bias edge, and when I get through all of these, I'm going to be pressing open, right? That's very important. That seam here is to be pressed open, because that's going to help you get your rows together and get your blocks together. So that, don't forget to do that. And be very careful too, because half of these edges on an octagon are biased, so don't be stretching them out of shape. So next we will be putting them into rows, right? And you'll see how easy that one is as well. So, and then from there we'll be sewing the rows together, and then the week after that will be our border. Now I haven't decided whether I want to do just a plain blue border with low volumes like this to frame it, or use up more blues. I'll have to use up more blues. But anyway, so I hope you have an absolutely amazing week ahead and things are going great for you. Okay, so you stay well and take care until we meet each other again. Okay, bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts. Okay, so you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again. Okay, bye.